Hi, I'm Carlos Pampanato and I work for Redcliff Family and Community Support Services and I'm the Special Events Coordinator for the town of Redcliff. I get the privilege of working with some of our community's volunteers and organizations, and here are some of the volunteers that are doing outstanding work in our community.
I've been a volunteer with the library for over 5 years now. I started on the advice of my sister, who said when you move to a new town, a library board is a great way to get to know people in the town. And she was right, and I've been happy volunteering here ever since. Is that I was able to carve an area where I was able to give to the library skills that I had that were unique to me in particular. So my computer skills, my technical skills, that was an area where I could give something different to the library that other people weren't able to do. So that was, that was a nice thing, I think, that I could bring that to the organization and that they were able to make use of it. And that's, as I've seen other members join the library board, that's what's interesting, is each person is tapped for their own unique skill set and experiences that they bring in. Yeah, there's some things that we ask everybody to do, but there's a way for you as a volunteer to bring your background into it and your skills into it. So that's a nice thing. I've certainly gained more than I feel that I've given in terms of volunteering, in terms of meeting people in the community and becoming connected to the community. So I think it's important for me as a person to do. It's helpful to me as a person, but I think it's also important in the community to reach out to other people in the community. I think communities are about connection, about being connected to other people. We don't live alone, we live in communities of other people, and it's a positive way to make connections with other people. I think one of the interesting things about volunteering on the library board, when I started, I assumed we would talk about the library collections, what books we would get and that type of thing. In fact, we hardly ever talk about books. Our book discussion happens hurriedly after the meeting is over, when people say, well, what are you reading? And during the meetings, we actually deal with the business of running the library itself and all the things that go into that. People will say that libraries aren't relevant anymore because of electronic books, yet I don't see that as the case. I see this as a place where we hold a resource in common that everybody can dip into and use and share. And they don't realize the wide range of things that the library has to offer, and that we're always looking for new things to offer to people, and in that we want to be responsive to the community at large. So, the great paper versus ebook debate always comes up, and which people prefer. But there's audiobooks, we do games, we do any kind of resource that is useful for people to have in common, we would hold here. If someone wants to volunteer at the library, I think their first step would be to talk to the library manager, and she can hook you up with the type of library job that most needs doing at any given time. So we have people who come into the library to volunteer on a daily basis. We also have other library-connected volunteer activities like the Friends of the Library that are doing fundraising, great fundraising work for the library itself. As well, the board periodically needs new members as well.
As you can see, the town of Redcliff has numerous opportunities for volunteering. We want to thank our volunteers for making Redcliff a vibrant place to work and play. For more information on how to volunteer in the town of Redcliff, call the Community and Protective Services Department at 403-548-3232.